Early in our time with FIBA, we realized that it's no good just doing a radio broadcast. We need to be able to follow up on that. Otherwise, it's like, pitching a big tent, getting 1,000 people, and they all stick up their hands, and afterwards everybody goes home and forgets about what they did. And the way in which we did that follow-up was to use some of GR's material. And what we did is we started up listeners groups in key villages around the Yao Nation. And what we did is we gave them what we would call a follow-up kit. The kit consisted of solar-powered but also wind-up radio and a messenger and a series of tapes. And that's what we would do. We placed that in key positions in villages, and people could go. After having listened to the broadcast, and if they needed more information, that was the first stop. Because you need to understand that it's not easy for a listener in a rural village to be able to communicate with a radio station which is in one of the cities.
They could grow now, because when they come to the Lord, there's nobody that can guide them and help them. But through the stories, we had so many testimonies where they're saying they want to know more, they want to have more. So they love those stories and the flip charts and the pictures with it. And just remember that they're in a rural area, so television and pictures are not part of their lives. So the material that we've used then already was such a tool, that actually went hand in hand with the radio. So what a wonderful way of working together.
We were first introduced to GRN's material while we were with FIBA, and it was a great tool for us because it enabled us to do a follow-up to the broadcast. But it is not only usable in the mission field and for mission work only. It's also usable in your own environment right around you. An expression which is often used in GRN is we produce recordings in people's art language. And what does that really mean? That means the language that speaks to people's hearts.
So it's an outreach tool. It's a mighty tool to use, but people don't know that yet. And I think that's a big area that we can actually try and promote people to use it in their daily lives. Don't think it's a tool for out there in the rural areas. It can be used everywhere we go.
We've not found a bunch of people that are more caring than the people we've met in GR. We came here and we were full of trepidation, saying, well, where are we going to live? How are we going to do this? How are we going to do that? And you know what? They took care of everything. And coming in here and seeing the work that everybody's doing, and we found that same caring and that same love for the lost.
And the dedication of each section, how things work together. And when I came here, I was actually in assembly as well. I put sabers together, piece by piece. And every time I put one, I did what I need to do, and then I put it aside so that the next person can take it and put the next part in it. I was just praying, Lord, this one, make this a special one. And I put it down. Lord, this one, somebody must hear this one and give their heart to you, Lord. And I put it down, So I was praying for each one of them. I found that I was just so excited about using and seeing how this thing works. And the volunteers that come in, it's amazing. You don't just find that out in the world. Everybody's just looking after themselves, and if it's not for money, they're not interested. And this is completely a different setup here. And so I just pray that God will keep on blessing GRN and this work can just carry on. That's what my prayer is for GRN, for sure.